Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think the champion of Africa Scramble is Russia. And that is, Russia, I think, won the competition on getting Africa as the continent, most of Africa's countries support. We have here a summit, and that will be attended by an overwhelming number of African countries. It seems like Russia won the competition against China and United States or some Western countries. So what happened here? Let me show you. This article comes from Russia today on July 19th, 2023. Nearly 50 African states to attend summit in Russia, Foreign Ministry. About half of the countries will be represented by leaders of state or government, according to the Foreign Ministry in Moscow. So just to put this in perspective, nearly 50 African states. How many states are in Africa? Do you know? Well, I didn't know, but I looked into it. Here it is. I'm going to share it with you. So this is a list of sovereign states and dependent territories in Africa. It includes fully recognized states with limited or zero recognition, and dependent territories of both African and non-African states. It lists 56 sovereign states, 54 of which are member states of the United Nations, 2 non-sovereign dependent territories of non-African sovereign states, and 10 subnational regions of non-African sovereign states. Got it? Malta and parts of France, Italy, Portugal, and Spain are located on the African continent plate, some considerably closer to the African mainland than the European mainland, but politically are generally considered to be Okay, so we got it. So we got 56 or 54, however we want to take it. And these guys say almost 50. So that's a big success. I mean, and let's say something that would not be a success would be, I don't know, 5 countries, 10 countries, maybe 20 if you call it African Summit or something, Russo-African Summit. But let's say an average would be about 35 would be, it's okay, it's a mild success, but mostly almost 50. So let's go and read the article and see what are they going to talk about. So 49, oh my, right here, 49 out of 54, if we are to take this 56 or 54. 54 are recognized member states of the United Nations. So however you want to take it, it's an overwhelming number. 49 countries have confirmed their participation in the Russia-Africa Summit, set to take place next week in St. Petersburg. Alexander Polyakov, Deputy Director of the Russian Foreign Ministry's Africa Development, announced on Tuesday. What do you think will happen now? I tell you exactly what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. The U.S. State Department will get an overdrive. All right? Its RPM is going to be in red to go and convince these guys with money, or or a little thing, don't attend it. Guarantee you that. I'm going to keep you up to date on that one. So, Polyakov said the decision to participate demonstrates African nations' firm commitment to developing relations with Moscow, despite Western pressure. Correct, and I'm quoting. So far, we have received confirmation of participation from 49 African delegations, with about half of the African countries to be represented at the highest level, the level of heads of state and government, end quote, he told the media. The second Russian-African summit is scheduled for July 27-28, taking place alongside the Economic and Humanitarian Forum, which is expected to provide a platform for business meetings and panel sessions. These guys are not, you can't, how should I put it? People might say, well, the Russians are bribing some and all that. Could be, but do you think that Russia's economy and wealth could compete with the US's having the IMF and the other bank? I can't remember it right now. Is it? So International Foreign and World Bank, International Monetary Fund. Do you think that Russia can compete with those? I don't think so. So it must be something else. What is it? I think those African countries are scared to death, and I'm exaggerating, obviously, of the ex-colonial countries. I mean, people here in the United States of America, educators, college professors, still stay with the European colonizers. No, that's very, very improper and insulting and inaccurate. You can't lump everybody together because you have, 7 countries out of Europe, 7 of what? Out of 40 some involved in some colonial this and that. The Europeans, no, some, and you can name them. Easily you can name them. About what, 7? I would guess. I mean, start with, if you want England, or I want to lump Great Britain, I don't think so. Just go with England, right? And go with Portugal, go with Spain, go with the Netherlands, go with France, go with Germany a little bit, right? If you want to go to Italy as well, go with Belgium. What else? Who else are we missing? Just to mention a few. So you know exactly who these guys are. Don't play around with the Europeans. You can include over there the Serbs, the Romanians, the Bulgarians, the Hungarians, the Poles, the Baltic states, all the Eastern Europe. You can go, and Central Europe, and they're not involved in that. Or Switzerland, and the Nordic states. So hold your horses when you say the European colonizers. No, don't say that. Because you can't lump everybody together. Oh, the Europeans started a Second World War. No, the European criminals. Why? Because Hitler was a criminal and he was from Europe. I mean, don't extrapolate it like that. I mean, you can think of other things as well in other continents. You're not going to use, I don't know, Mugabe, or not only, what's his name? Adi Amin, is that what his name is? Don't lump that with Africa. That's a guy on his own, right? And not only that guy, don't get Mobutu again as being, the Africans did that. No, Mobutu did that. We know exactly who that person was. The same with these colonial powers, European. A few, yes, there were. All right, I'm not going to talk about colonialism because I think colonialism did some bad things and also did some good things for both sides. How can you say that? Well, just check around. I mean, willy-nilly, certain things were brought into Africa. That nowadays people call it this and that, like infrastructures, a kind of infrastructures, certain kind of organization, institutions, and so on. Laws, set of laws. Some African nations can say, well, our culture is different and so on. Now you're free. You've been free for some time, so you can turn to whatever you think is best. And take all the asphalt out, or the buildings, or the European colonial powers institutions out, and institute yours. Nobody forces you nowadays. But anyway, that's a different story. Let's go to these ones. So, the first high-level meeting was held in Sochi in 2019 under the theme, and I'm quoting, "For Peace, Security and Development," end quote. Nearly 50 African heads of state attended. Bilateral and multilateral documents of our cooperation with Africans are being prepared for signing. There you have it, the diplomat stated. Last month, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov said that the event is a serious first step towards Moscow's economic and political return to Africa. That scares the shit of these guys. We'll find out. The fact is, as of now, supposedly 49 countries confirmed that they will attend. And that's very good. Cooperation is good. Communication is good. And sometimes forgiveness is good. Help is good. And truth and justice is good. Always. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.